Welcome back. Before the break, I asked how much money has the federal government seized in assets in the past 10 years? $12 billion, $28 billion, $32 or $36 billion? The answer, $28 billion. And that's apparently not enough for Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who yesterday doubled down on his push to give police officers more flexibility with asset forfeiture. Watch.
We hope to issue this week a new directive on asset forfeiture, especially forfeiture of ill-gotten gains from drug dealers. With care, we've got to be careful, professionalism, we plan to develop policies to increase forfeitures.
Well, that's just great. The top law enforcement official in America wants to give cops even more freedom to seize your property just because they suspect you of a crime. But they don't have to convict anyone. They don't even have to charge a person with a crime. All the cop needs is a hunch. It sounds pretty bad. Let me ask John Stossel of the Fox Business Network just how bad it is.
Well, it's really bad if you're innocent and they just take your car or the money you've saved all your life and you were moving it somewhere, and you can't. It would cost you $20,000 to sue them to get it back and take 5 years if they just steal from people. On the other hand, it's probably popular because most of the people did break some law. And Sessions says, we're going to have to be very careful. At least he said that. But I just hate him.
Yeah.
Trump has appointed so many good people, and that this guy is just wrong on these big issues.
I agree with you. I think he's the worst person in the administration. He's got way too much power. And this is something interesting. Since 2007, the Department of Justice Asset Forfeiture Program has collected that $28 billion we talked about at the top of the block. That's more than the U.S. government seized more property from Americans than burglars did. That's insane.
That's amazing. Except, I bet a lot of viewers would say, well, they're criminals, so it's good they take the money.
What if they're not criminals? That's the problem, because we see story after story of a couple having their house repossessed by the government, or a guy leaving a casino and an officer finding his cash that he just won in the casino, thinking that he's a drug dealer.
And that's horrible. And the cops' incentive is horrible. You have cops buying margarita makers, and one DA got a cape with the word super lawyer on it from the forfeiture money.
Gross.
It's play money.
Yeah.
And we should stop calling it civil asset forfeiture, because that just puts people to sleep.
Yeah.
The Wall Street Journal called it police asset forfeiture. That's a little more clear, and maybe can make people think about, oh, yeah, we give them this power?
And there's something new called adoptive forfeiture. So in 13 states, this is actually illegal. Cops cannot just take something from you because they suspect that you've committed a crime. There has to be due process. Absolutely right. But so what they do is they take something and give it to the federal government. And the federal government takes it under federal law, but then gives 80% of that in most cases back to local law enforcement. So they have these clever workarounds.
And again, the incentives. One, the Texas DA used the funds to go to a conference in Hawaii, and when he was quizzed about it, he said, oh, the judge approved it, and it turned out the judge went too.
Oh, my gosh.
It's bad incentives.
Yeah.
And, of course, Sessions fortunately did not talk about cracking down more on drug laws. But that'll be the next thing, I fear.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is just another stop on the drug war express. And unfortunately, he's not the only attorney general who's fallen in love with this form of asset forfeiture. Loretta Lynch called it a wonderful tool when she was being confirmed.
But at least in the Obama administration, there was discussion of the problem rather than saying, let's do more. Let's make more stuff illegal and grab more money.
Well, I hope someone like Rand Paul can grab the president's ear and explain to him why this is so egregious and why due process in this country is so important. And if you have committed a crime, there are ways for answering for that and for other people taking their money. It is, as Judge Napolitano has said, a government taking. That is wrong.
You ought to be convicted. You have a right to a trial.
That's absolutely right, John Stossel. Thank you for coming by. Your suit matches your eyes. Quite lovely.
All right.
Yes, indeed.